Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Calvin Tobin Show. I am your host, Calvin Tobin. Today we have a lot to talk about, so let's get right into it. Alright, the NFL offseason has been going absolutely nuts today. And for starters, it's Aaron Rodgers signing the biggest contract in Green Bay history and in his history on a 4-year, $200 million deal, averaging out to $50 million a year, and now he is the highest paid player in NFL history. And earlier, he did say he was going to clear some things up, and he said that the numbers on the contract that he signed are inaccurate. So what are the numbers truly, and how much did he actually get paid? Because, based on the amount of money that he got paid, in my opinion, he got way overpaid. Aaron Rodgers is not worth $50 million a year. There's only 2 quarterbacks in the league, or was in the league, that are worth that kind of money. Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. Aaron Rodgers is a phenomenal quarterback who's had crazy touchdown to interception ratios and has dragged Green Bay to the NFC Championship 5 times and got a Super Bowl out of it. But Green Bay has truly wasted Aaron Rodgers' career, because Aaron Rodgers could have got way more Super Bowls, but based on how he's performed in his career and how it's gone, he's gotten way overpaid. He's not worth $50 million. But other than that, in Jordan Love's situation, how is that going to work out? Because now Aaron Rodgers, according to the contract, he is staying for 4 more years if he plays out through that entire contract, because Aaron Rodgers is slowly getting closer to the age of 40, and who knows on how much longer he is going to play. And with Jordan Love, is he going to stay the entire time, or is he going to be able to go to a new team and get his career started? Because we know that for Green Bay, when they drafted Jordan Love, it was one of the most foolish and ironic decisions of draft picks that Green Bay has ever made, because Aaron Rodgers is still throwing the ball almost nearly better than any quarterback in the league, and he is putting Green Bay and has kept Green Bay on the map. And we're going to see how much of a different team Green Bay is going to be when Aaron Rodgers finally hangs up those cleats, whenever that time comes of when he is retired. In other NFL offseason news, Russell Wilson has been traded to the Denver Broncos. Oh my God, are you serious? The Seattle Seahawks made one of their worst decisions in franchise history. How can you get rid of Russell Wilson? Because this entire trade went for where Seattle got 2 4th-rounders, 2 2nd-rounders, and Drew Lock and a few other players for Russell Wilson. Now, Russell Wilson may turn around Denver just like that, but to a point, it looks like that Russell Wilson's career is going down the drain a little bit, because he went to a far worse team. Because with Russell Wilson at Seattle, he's averaging 10 wins per season, while the last time that Denver even got 10 wins in his season was when they had Peyton Manning all the way back in 2015, and that was 6 years ago. What? Are you kidding me? This was not a smart decision, one of the biggest mistakes that Seattle has ever made. I feel so bad for all the Seattle fans, because Russell Wilson was Seattle's superhero when it came to winning games and getting Seattle to the playoffs. Yes, how much farther could Seattle have gone if they had a better defense? Because a lot of times where the Seattle Seahawks got out of the playoffs too quick, or very quick, was because of that defense. It wasn't on Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is like LeBron James when he was with Cleveland. He knows how to win every game and is dragging that Seattle team to every single victory. So now, Denver is about to, and I'm pretty sure that Denver is living it up. We all know that Jerry Jeudy absolutely loves this. Now, how much better is Russell Wilson going to make the Denver Broncos? Because on offense, Seattle had a lot more talent than Denver does. So how is Russell Wilson going to go about this situation? Because the draft is only a month away, and they could get even more players and better players on offense and defense to help Russell Wilson get this team into the playoffs. Now, also in other NFL offseason news, Calvin Ridley is indefinitely suspended for the entire 2022-2023 season, and it could go into next season because he did 3-game, 5-game, and 8-game parlays, and in his words, he said he only betted $1,500, and because of that, him betting on NFL games got him suspended indefinitely for the entire season, and that just put even more pressure on Matt Ryan to get this Falcons team to victories over and over and over, because now, as of right now, all Matt Ryan has is Kyle Pitts, and he's a great quarterback, and he's a great tight end, because he is the second tight end in NFL history to get over 1,000 yards in his rookie season as a tight end. And that's all Matt Ryan's got right now, because Julio is gone, Todd Gurley's gone, and now Calvin Ridley is gone just for this season. So what is going on with Atlanta? How are they going to go about this situation? Do they have to draft another superstar wide receiver just to help them out? Or what are they going to do? Maybe they might go with a new quarterback, because Matt Ryan is slowly showing his age, and he's not the quarterback that he used to be. So Atlanta is in a huge predicament right now with their players and how they're going to figure out how to win games. And speaking of winning games, Greg Popovich has tied Don Nelson for the most regular season wins of all time at 1,335 total wins. They are 25-40 right now, and the Spurs' next game they gotta play is against the Toronto Raptors. Is San Antonio going to win that game so they can get so Greg Popovich can finally take the lead? Because Greg Popovich is one of the greatest head coaches of all time, and eventually this season, hopefully within the next couple of games, he can get that victory to finally take the lead as the winningest head coach of all time and get win number 1,336. And here's how impressive that of Greg Popovich's winning streak is, or win column is. He has coached 2,028 games. That's 370 games less than Don Nelson when he finished his career at 1,335 wins. Greg Popovich is a legend that we still get to witness and watch today. And it's only a matter of time before he gets into the Hall of Fame, because most of his wins all came from 96 all the way up until Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker got either traded or retired from the team, because with those guys, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, Tim Duncan, and a few other, even Kawhi Leonard was on this team at one point too. Like, Greg Popovich knows how to win games. Before Tim Duncan finally retired, Greg Popovich and the San Antonio Spurs were an automatic 45, 50-win team with that trio. Like, they just could not lose. And they got 5 championships out of those guys. That truly shows on how Greg Popovich truly knows how to win. Now, where would you rank him in the top coaches of all time? For me, I would rank him in the top 5 between Phil Jackson, Don Nelson, and a few other coaches. But it's very hard because there are so many coaches that have won over 1,000 games in this league, and it's hard to put which one where. But definitely, one of the 2 greatest coaches are definitely Phil Jackson and Greg Popovich. Now, also speaking of winning, Tom Izzo just became, Michigan State head coach, just became the all-time winningest head coach in Big Ten history, and he just passed Bob Knight, who is the former leader. And what's cool about this victory is that he is 1 win away from tying a legendary college basketball UCLA head coach John Wooden total wins, because he had 664 and Tom Izzo has 663, and it is the end of the season, so he has to wait till so Tom Izzo has to wait till next year if he doesn't retire this season, because he's getting up there. But I'm sure he'll coach and he'll keep coaching and not retire this season, and just keep on winning and eventually pass John Wooden of the legend. Now, speaking of retiring, legendary, greatest head coach, at least in my opinion, greatest college basketball head coach of all time, finally says goodbye to Duke University, as on Saturday was his last home game at Duke, and this stadium was packed to the brim. It was overfilled, where it was sold out originally from all the students and fans that got there. It was overfilled as well, because you had people from inside the stadium looking in. You also had people that were sitting on the floor watching this game. Now, unfortunately, Duke did lose the game 94-81, but North Carolina was just that team that day, because 4 of their starters all hit 20 plus points, and Duke, they wasn't on their best game, where they were constantly turning over the ball, not making great passes, and they were relying on Palabachero a little bit too much to get those points. And with Paolo, he was also way too inconsistent with his shots, let alone the entire team, because especially in that second half, it was a close game throughout most of the game, but until about 5-6 minutes left in the game, North Carolina started to slowly pull more and more away to seal the victory even easier as the game slowly ended. But what really bit the Duke Blue Devils in this game is that they were, especially in the second half, they were too inconsistent with shots. For every shot that they made, it was almost, they would miss 2, 3, sometimes 4 shots in a row before they made their next basket, and that's what really bit them. Now, other than the game, after the game, there was a huge and fantastic post-game ceremony for Coach K, and they were giving all the respects and saying how great he was, how much a family and how much that organization really meant coming from Coach K. And he gave a little speech himself that Duke has been his family ever since he's been a part of that school. And he's been a part of that school for 42 years as a coach, and he was there for a few years as a player himself. Now, I really hope that Duke and Coach K can win the championship this year, because that would be an absolute amazing achievement. Yet even Coach K still has 5 championships, it would be an astronomical way to go out winning a championship in your final game as a head coach in one of the winningest organizations in college basketball history. Because Coach K has nearly 1,200 wins. He has 1,196 wins. It has an 882 win percentage, which is 0.3 behind the winningest coach, John Wooden, in history, because he was 664 and 142. And that was 885. But also, when it comes to true greatness as an all-time great head coach, I say for myself that Coach K is the greatest college basketball coach of all time. But it is hard to argue when John Wooden, when he won 10 championships in 12 years with UCLA. Oh my gosh, I'm going to miss Coach K, because you're not going to see this ever again for what Coach K did, especially let alone from any person coaching at any program from any sport when it comes to high school, college, and pro. 42 years this guy put up with Duke, and the craziest part about that is that he kept Duke in the rankings, especially the top 10 throughout the entire time, and he's made 12 Final Fours, 5 championships. Like, it's going to be one of the hardest debates you can ever have when it comes to true greatness from a specific position. And I'm going to miss Coach K a lot. So have fun in retirement, because I hope you go out with a bang and win this championship, because you got millions of people rooting for you. Let's see if you can pull it off. Alright, that's the end of the Calvin Tobin Show. Please subscribe to my channel at Calvin Tobin Show so you don't miss out on any sports media. And please follow me on Instagram at Calvin Tobin Show so you don't miss out on any sports news whatsoever. And I'm out.